When disturbances come, do you know the disturbances, that it is a disturbance?
Yes.
Who knows? You know.
Yes.
That one which knows the disturbance, is it disturbed?
No.
Well, because you have been practicing so much, you will say that, oh no, it's not disturbed. Many people might feel that, no, I get disturbed. I was not disturbed, now I am disturbed. Again, I'll be peaceful. There's a wrong thinking there. As you said, the knower of the disturbance is not disturbed. Because the knower of the disturbance was there before the disturbance came. Clearly. Who noticed the disturbance? The one who was already there before the disturbance came. And the knower of the disturbance will still be there when the disturbance is gone. Right? So the disturbance is not something that sticks to you, the knower. It comes up in your awareness, in the light of your awareness. In your light it comes up. In your light it is recognized as a disturbance. In your light also you recognize disturbance gone. That light is always free of the disturbance. Now instead of saying that light, oh it's good, that light is free of disturbance, say, I am free of the disturbance. Before the disturbance was there, were you free of the disturbance?
Yes.
After the disturbance is gone, are you free of the disturbance?
Yes.
Now follow carefully, when the disturbance is there at that moment, you are aware of the disturbance, right?
Yes.
You, the one which is aware of the disturbance, is that awareness disturbed?
No.
No. You are not disturbed.
Yep.
Let the dark cloud come in the sky. Sky is not affected. Let it be a cloudless sky. Sky is not affected. Similarly, you, the awareness, let the disturbance come. What happens is we have a feeling disturbance should not come. Here's the disturbance. Now I must chase after it. It's caught you. Now you are using the mind, which is now a disturbed mind, and to make it a serene mind, and you get down to it. I have to sit like this, I have to breathe like this, I have to listen to the YouTube lecture, and all good. But at one time, you understand all of this. Whatever I'm saying, it's good to hear it. Even if you understand it at one point, it's good to hear it again. At one time, one must come out of this. Even when the disturbance is there, you know you are exactly the same Brahman. Absolutely nothing to be done as far as your nature as Brahman is concerned. Think about it this way. You are calming the restlessness in one mind. You're using Vedanta and meditation and breathing. But you are the same consciousness in all minds. How many minds will you calm down? There are minds which are terribly disturbed in this world. Are you going to go out and calm down all those minds? No. In those minds, the consciousness shining in those minds, is the consciousness in itself disturbed? No. Is the sky in a smoky pot smoky? No. Is sky in a dirty pot, does the sky become dirty? No. In a sky in a pot where there's holy Ganga water, does the sky become purified? No. It is always pure. You are that unchanging, ever pure, ever shining consciousness, especially in the midst of disturbance. That is a great help. You can still see a but.
No. So my question here was exactly like, so when there was a disturbance, right? Immediately there is some alertness. I don't know, maybe how best I can put it.
Alertness is a good word.
Yeah, right. So then I'm not being deceived, maybe I can put it like that, and I'm able to recognize the reality in there. Right? And then followed by peace, obviously, right? Then desire is no more bubbling up, and then followed by bliss. There is something which is making me alert, right? I don't know if I am still not getting it.
Suffering is making you alert.
Oh, okay.
You see, when our real nature as that pure consciousness, pure being, that is holiness. That is always available to us. But we don't continuously think about that. I am Swami. I don't continuously think I am Swami Sarvapriyananda, I am Swami. I don't continuously think. But if somebody asks me, what's your name? I say Swami. That name Swami is available to me all the time. It is continuously available to me. Not that my mind is dwelling on it. Your nature, Atman, pure consciousness, pure being, is always available to you because it's always there, eternally there. It's not that you have to always think about it. When the mind gets embroiled in suffering because of its past conditioning or because of blows from the world outside, then that suffering recalls that your real nature. And you relax into the peace of that. Yeah, it's suffering. It's suffering which alerts you to it. This constant awareness of the Atman is not that I'm constantly thinking I'm Atman, or I'm Brahman, or I'm one with God. No, not like that. That's a mantra, you're repeating it. But it's not like that. There's a website actually, a very nice name. Never Not Here. That's a good one. Never not here. The Atman is never not here. There'll never be a time when the Atman is not available to you. It is there. Whenever you need it, it's available. Somebody asked the Holy Mother in a slightly different context that, are you the Divine Mother? And she finally had to say yes. And then somebody asked, are you always aware of your divine nature? She said, no, my child. And that way, how could I go about doing all the work that I do? Then she says, fine, that's very, very interesting. Whenever I want, it's there. Yes. One Swami told me in a very simple, very cute example. He said, it's like your favorite pillow. Whenever you want to relax, it's there. You can put your head back on it and relax.